All right, we're doing it again.
Yeah, now we're doing
take two.
Take two.
Yeah, we were just talking about how we're going to start this thing. Welcome to Loper Life.
Yeah, welcome to Loper Life.
Yeah, this was your idea, Luis.
It is. So I'm your host, Luis, and this is my co-host, Mr. Matt. I guess let's just start to rambling about this shit.
Well, that's what we do. I mean, we get on the backs of horses and we're riding around, training them and
Trying
working
not
them,
to
getting
fall.
warmed up, and trying to keep the head trainer happy.
That's the big goal right there.
And we talk about we solve all the world's problems, so we thought we might as well record it and see
if we can solve all the world's problems together. That's the key right there. If we can all just do it together.
Yeah. So how did this idea come about, Luis?
How did it come about, man? I tell you, it really just came about in my head. Honestly, just growing up, being a groom, and obviously I've had my fair share of opportunities to be head trainers and stuff like that. But you know, in this Loper world, whether it was in the reining or in the cow horse world, the light is always on the trainers, as it should be. Like, kudos to them; they're putting in all the work and doing what they need to do to make these horses work fantastically. But it just dawned on me, in a sense of what's going on behind the scenes. How are we getting to the futurity? How are we getting to these cotton stakes, to all the shows? What's going on in that loping pen?
Yeah.
And I just thought, what great idea it would be. Let's start shining some light on the lopers and what's really going on backstage.
They do a lot of hard work, a lot of the dirty work.
A lot of the dirty work. Correct. I mean, it's fun and all to be watching cows and to go in there and cut, but what's going on behind the scenes when we're cleaning wraps at 2 o'clock in the morning and feeding horses at 5 a.m. and
a lot of entertaining stuff.
A lot of entertaining things going on, but I guess that's how it just came about. I just wanted to shed light on the lopers and what's really going on behind the scenes. Everybody gets to see that big trainer show that big horse, but
for everybody out in the internet world, what can you tell us what a loper is real quick? What does a loper do?
Well, a loper genuinely's main consistent job is just loping horses and getting them, hence the word loper, getting the horses nice and warmed up and ready for the trainer to ride.
Kind of like a person going on a run. You got to get stretched and you got to get warmed up, and before you start that run.
Correct. Getting the horse nice and stretched and warmed up and ready to roll, and the horse will tell you when he's ready to. For example, if you're showing, the horse will tell you when he's ready to show. And when you're at home, we don't really lope them down like we would at a show. So there's just a whole bunch of variables, but your main job is to maintain the horse's health. You know, it's one thing aside from just loping. You know, you're looking out for your horses, you're looking out for the people around you, making sure that they're feeling okay. But as a general rule, you're just getting on and loping your horse and making sure that the trainer's happy and that horse is ready to be shown or to be worked at home.
So you got to have a lot of horsemanship skills to do that.
It's preferable. It's preferable. But I have noticed some people just throw any knucklehead on a horse sometimes. It kind of drives me insane
ourselves included.
I'm not perfect. I tell you what, I bet you I'm like a little monkey riding around sometimes. But that's the main gist of what a loper is.
And so, you and I were sitting on the back of a horse talking like we always do, laughing and having a good time, and you brought up the idea of a podcast, and it's something that I mean, any person today that watches YouTube or social media, has entertained the idea. Wouldn't it be cool to start something like that? And so, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on cowboys and horsemanship and cutting and reining cow horse and rodeo, and the podcasters that I've watched, and it seems like they've all got a podcast on how do you get started.
Correct.
And every one of them says you just got to start. And so here we are. We just got to start. We are. We've got some jerry-rig cameras.
Boys, if y'all could only see what's going on behind these cameras right now, there's a bunch of cardboards and trash cans and stuff just holding this stuff together.
The cameras are fancy. But
our tables are a little
wonky, and we're out here on a Wednesday. Just got finished doing some starting some 2-year-olds.
Working with some 2-year-olds, yeah.
Had some fun doing that. Luis went swimming.
I went swimming,
yeah.
and I didn't fall off though. We just put the horses in the water. That's all it was.
Hey, one almost laid down. She was having so much fun.
She felt real good in that water. I was not amused. Let's so much as we say, I was not very amused of.
So we're going to give this thing a shot. We're all rigged up here. We've got a couple of cameras going, and we're just going to have a conversation, not unlike what we do on the back of a horse, or in between saddling and cleaning,
and washing horses,
and cleaning saddles, and every once in a while getting to do some cowboy stuff, working cattle and stuff like that.
Every once in a while, Matt will let one jump a fence or something like that.
Hey. We said we were going to be nice to each other on this thing. So, one of the ideas that you talked about that really is the inspiration behind this particular podcast, because we were talking about lopers and what they do and how to for me one of the things that I really give a lot of thought about is how does somebody who's new and doesn't have the opportunities that maybe you and I and several other people have had to get involved in the equestrian industry, I've lost my train of thought, but
he's old.
Yeah,
gotta give him a second.
That's where I was coming from. That's what's brought me here, but we were talking about Loper Games.
Loper Games, yeah. Yes.
And so, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got that idea?
Well,
and what that is, because it sounds pretty interesting.
Well, Loper Games is just something that I genuinely was just a BS idea type deal. I was just, I think I was riding with Nick, who's another Loper, and I think I was just trying to be competitive, as I'm already naturally competitive as it is. Those of you that know me really get that aspect of me. And it just came up to my mind. I said, man, how cool would it be that in between a settle, for example, or even at the end of a big cutting, that we have maybe 4 or 5 makeshift, portable stalls made. And this is just an idea being thrown out here. It doesn't even need to be stalls, but have some sort of games of who could set up the stall the quickest, and have it look fancy and nice and neat, or who can saddle, for example, it'll be like round 1, set the stall up, put the buckets up, throw the shavings in the middle of the stall, so, throw your feed pans, hang up your blanket holders, whatever, your tack stall, whatever the case is. Then maybe go over, and now you got to go saddle this horse. And once you saddle it, make sure it's nice and pretty and centered, and wrap the horse. I don't know. It's just
it could be all different kinds of things.
There is so many things that you could do. Hell, you don't even need a real horse.
Having been to a few cuttings myself, that is, one of the challenges of drawing an audience to cutting horse events is there's a lot of excitement when the horses are cutting cattle.
Correct.
But then when they got to switch the cattle out, because you don't want old cattle in there or tired cattle, you got to get new, fresh cattle in there to really showcase what the horse can do. It usually takes, 15, 20 minutes?
20, 30, 25, 30, 35
I guess
minutes.
It's up to the cattle.
Yeah, I've seen up to 35 minutes.
The audience you're sitting there and you're going, okay, and if you're new to the cutting world, then
you
might
show up.
Then you're sitting there going, what's going on?
They're just walking
exciting.
through that herd.
And so, that could be a lot of fun. I mean, and you were describing something that could be pretty intensive to set up, but it really could be.
Right.
I mean, in my head, I'm going through, man, it could just be a Loper sprint.
Exactly.
It's like who can go from one place to the next the fastest. It could be, you could set up a little
stick horses for guys.
You could have stick horse races.
Stick horse race.
And you could have little a head. Who could rope the head?
Yeah,
exactly. Who could rope it the fastest in 5 minutes? And then you could get everybody involved, and certainly the Lopers have a lot to do to support those trainers. But there is, I tell you what, there is time to do something like that, and it could be pretty entertaining.
Correct, and I know there's a time for us to be serious, and there's a time for us to have fun. But I tell you what, I have met a bunch of Lopers in this short life of mine, in this short experience of mine, Some of them just need to let loose. We need to hand them a stick horse or something, because some of them, they need.
Some of them got the stick horse going the wrong direction.
Jeez Louise! I mean, they're great people. Don't you guys don't take this the wrong way. You guys are amazing, and the people that I've met are amazing. But sometimes, like, let loose. I'm not saying let's go and get plastered somewhere, but damn, let's have a stick horse race, a pillow fight, something. Let's let loose. Don't be so angry at the world.
It's supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah.
And how do we inject excitement? How do we draw new people to the community?
Correct.
How do we get more people excited about horsemanship? And of the stuff that I've read and watched, they talk a lot about the Yellowstone effect and how that's had such an impact on the community and the industry. And as new people come to the industry or to the sport, then that could be something. Like, that could be real exciting. I mean, you could even draw somebody out of the crowd. I mean, you let your mind go run wild. That's not, and it's not uncommon to equine sports. I mean, if you think about a rodeo, I took my kids to several rodeos, and when they were young, as much as fun as they had watching the horses, they had just as much. That guy in the middle, that clown in the middle, he was hilarious.
Just like when they drug us out there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Luis is out there dancing, having.
I about won too. Yeah. If I would have gone down and done the worm, that high five would have been mine. That would have been my high five.
But it's a challenge not unique to cutting, and it's a challenge that other sports and other equine sports specifically have challenged. And then what I think what that does too have addressed, and then I think that what that does too is the younger you can get people involved in whatever sport it is. I mean, if you think about, and this goes back to where I kind of stuttered on my words earlier, one of the challenges that I'd like to see address or be part of addressing is how do we get new blood, new people. How do we grow the sport? How do we grow interest in the sport and equine sports in general, not just cutting?
The horse industry in general, because it's dying.
You can get the more you can attract the next generation, and if you can do that through something like a Loper Games that now gets people involved and says, hey, and then
a Loper dance off. Yeah,
Loper dance off something. It could be a lot of fun, couldn't it? I mean,
I will definitely be having a lot of fun.
Now let me ask you a question. As a Loper, what kind of award would you want to receive? Is it a buckle? Is it the Loper Games buckle? Or are we talking Loper maybe boots? Or what is it? A new cowboy hat? What
I'll tell you
what does a Loper want? What would entice somebody who maybe not be so excited about getting out there and shaking their hind end a little bit? What would entice somebody like that to do?
Well,
to get out there and participate.
Lopers, we love to eat, so so maybe a $50 gift card to Chick-fil-A or
Chili's.
Chili's. Don't be stabbing at me now. Chili's. We like to drink.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, there's such a variety of things. If we're thinking logically, maybe eventually down the road we can get a buckle.
Yeah.
But a new cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Gift certificate to go eat, to go sit at a bar,
to anything really.
Really.
And it doesn't have
to
be. It
could be one of those $50 credit cards. Them prepays. Here you go spend it on whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, I that's a great question. Actually, I'm gonna have to sit at home now and really think about that.
And you could do different things at different event places, right? I mean, some of these cutting events, some of these equine events, they're known. Okay, they give a really nice buckle, or they give a really nice set of boots or spurs or something along those lines.
Spurs.
And if you if you're a place out there that has a cutting event, you could also be, hey, Lopers want to go, because I think Lopers have some. Well, how much influence do Lopers have with their trainers on where they go and what they do?
Oh, well, we just say yes sir, yes ma'am. I think I think they just say, hey, we're gonna go here, and we go, yes boss.
Yeah. But if you knew that something was going to do a Loper, hey, they have a really good Loper Games. What would that do? How would that impact your preparation?
I think.
Would you be that much more excited about going somewhere?
Yes, I think it goes on to who you're working for.
Yeah.
Some trainers, and this is just in the horse industry in general. Some trainers are more laid back than others. I genuinely don't care whether if you're a serious trainer or not. I think I will be up that hind end and been like, so we're gonna go to this show, right? Because I kind of want to win $50, or whatever.
Games,
I definitely want to go to this Loper game stuff.
I think you're kind of addressing something there. A true professional loper, somebody who's really passionate about it, I think could get excited about it, but at the same time, you've got to bring a level of focus because, after all,
we're there to show.
We're there to show. You're there to win.
Correct.
Because if you're not there to win, then
there's no
then
reason
you're not
to be
support.
there.
Yeah, you're not supporting because this is a competition. This is
Correct.
a professional sport, and you always got to keep an eye on that. But at the same time, if you're not having fun, I mean, football players that make it all the way to the NFL. It is a profession, but they enjoy it. They're having a lot of fun playing.
Of course. Well, and there's, folks like for example, if we go to shows and stuff, it may be 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. People look at me and Luis, how in the hell are you so happy right now? And it's like, we could be in a cubicle somewhere.
Yeah.
But instead, we're here in Fort Worth, or we're in Louisiana, or Perry, wherever we're here. Now, granted, we're tired. We're a little grumpy. We're a little hangry, yes. But we're doing what we love. Yeah. We chose to be horse people because we have such a big passion for horses. So if that doesn't already bring you happiness as it is, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's what drives me to be so happy and so motivated.
What is there a particular thing about shows or any of it that you like? What part of it do you like the most?
The atmosphere. And not just in the Loper world in general, just in horse shows and growing up showing horses. It's a second family, so to speak. You meet new friends, you meet new people, other trainers, and you just develop some sort of I wouldn't say a tight, you develop a nice acquaintance with them, where we text each other, hey, are you going to this I just had somebody texting me earlier, hey, are you going to this show? And it's like, no, because I'm going to be over at this show. So it's just like an inner friends and family and have fun, like he said. Now, we're there to be focused and to do our job. But when we're done working, doing whatever we need to do, at least me personally, I find the time. I find 15 minutes to go screw off for a little bit.
Well, in my background, so I retired from the Army a few months ago. And one of the things I miss, the common question is, well, what do you miss about the Army? And for me, it's the people,
the family.
The family. I mean, some of the greatest Americans that we have in our country have served in the military, and then from what I've experienced so far, just some amazing people in the cutting world and the horse world. I was walking through some stables the other day, and Jacob's Talley was walking through, and he said hi, and he introduced himself, and I was just
starstruck.
I was starstruck. I had a little fanboy thing going, like, I don't know what to say. Like,
you,
this guy's
Mr. Matt, come on.
This is one of the greatest steer wrestler of our time. Correct. Right now. Won the American a few years ago, and just so humble. So humble. I was humbling, and it was just a fantastic experience. But I tell you that story to say that it truly is what makes a great sport, a great organization, a great community is the people.
It's the people,
and if you can stay focused on that, man, that's awesome.
And I came from different disciplines. When I came into the cutting world, everybody has been nothing but so great and nice and humble and just so welcoming. Yeah. I was actually, my first couple of shows, I was like, I don't know, if people are gonna like me. I'm a likable person in general, as it is. I'm a people person as it is. Let's say that. But it didn't take me long to have acquaintances, to look forward to going to see somebody at a show. I think half of it, let's say a quarter of it, has to do with that I'm just a people person. I'm going to make you talk whether you want to talk to me or not. And then the other percentage of it is just the horse industry in general. The people are just they're raised to be just so humble and nice and welcoming to anybody, especially newcomers, whatever the case is. They took me in as one. And they'll see me at shows and they'll give me compliments, they'll give me tips, they'll give me just BS. I love it. And I love it. I love the people. I love the horses, but I love the people.
Care about you.
Yes. They want to see you do good. Now, I say that, but just like anywhere, you're always going to have that one rusty nail that's going to try to.
For the purpose of this, we're going to maintain a positive attitude.
That's all I am is positive. All right.
Well, what do you think of our first show so far?
Well, so far I think we're on a decent roll. I like it. I'm excited. I have a lot of ideas for our next podcast when it comes to subjects.
I think the first one we've started. I talked to Luis about what we were going to do on the first one, and I said, Luis, we got to get a hook in them. And I really like that Loper Games idea. For the number one, for the next ones, we got to introduce ourselves and talk a little bit about our backgrounds. We've done that a little bit now, but I think both of us definitely have some. Want to share ourselves and our passion for the sport and for equine community in general, and the horses. And so that's certainly going to be on our next podcast.
Yeah, I tell you what, them Loper Games, I am ready. Like whoever is out there, if you're out there, I'm ready to challenge your ass.
If you're out there hosting a show, get the Loper Games going.
Yes.
Because I think Luis is ready to go.
I would say, not even that. I am willing to, out of my own pocket, help make a Loper Games happen. If I got to sponsor the buckle, if I got to sponsor the hat.
Hey, speaking of the buckle, you just got your first buckle.
You just
got your first
cutting buckle.
Cutting buckle, yeah.
Come on, you ain't gotta throw me out like that. I'm basically
I'm excited for you.
Well, thanks.
That's a compliment. That's a huge compliment. I'm jealous of you.
No,
that's one thing I don't have.
You got that horse ready for me, okay?
That's right.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Yeah. You got it. So I'll split the buckle. You can wear it. I can wear it Monday through Wednesday. No, matter of fact, you can wear it Monday through Wednesday.
And you'll wear it on the weekends.
Yeah, Thursday through Thursday through Sunday.
Typical.
Yeah. Yes. Right. No, but I'm willing. I'm willing to sponsor it.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll go in half with you. Me and you. If there's a show out there that wants to do something different and interesting and exciting, and
let us know.
Let us know, and we'll sponsor the first Loper Games. We'll come up.
I'll sponsor all of them. It's my idea.
Don't sponsor all of them. You don't know what
No.
But we are more than willing and excited to help, not only with the prize,
correct,
but also the games and setting it up. I think that'd be a fantastic experience.
I genuinely think that if we can take that off, I think cutting world, or just the shows that decide to partake in it. It could be a weekend. It could be a weekend show. I'm not saying it needs to be the fraternity, but I think it'll just have such a big outcome. I think it would really turn out good.
And it could put, not that cutting horses on are, but it could put, cutting could say, we had the first Loper Games, because correct. I could see this transitioning. And one of the things we've talked about is how there are lopers, not just in the cutting world, but reining world and the reining cow horse world. All of it, and it could be something that could say cutting had the first.
That's
and
right.
Everybody else followed suit. It could be a lot of fun.
Because we are the best. Yes, no, I'm 1,000% invested in making it happen, and the first. At least the first one.
We could have our own trailer and Loper Games, and we just travel around to each of the shows.
Loper Life #Loper Games. Well, folks.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah,
Luis.
no, it's
Thanks
been
for
great.
letting me participate and be your co-host today.
Most definitely.
Yeah, this was an awesome experience.
It was great, and I'm excited that we're actually doing this. You know, I've been talking about this podcast for a few months now, probably since the end of November, and I haven't moved a finger really.
I take credit for getting the motivation going.
Mr. Matt takes the credit. He's like, I got the cameras, I got the stuff. Let's just freaking do it.
They say the first thing you got to do is just get started.
Just
and
jump.
Here we are.
And here we are.
So hopefully we'll make this a weekly thing, don't you think?
I think we can make that possible. I think we're more than capable of making it possible.
We'll get it set up, and this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to sharing stories.
We have some laughs. We had some good laughs today.
Boy, oh boy, yeah. Today was a sketchy day. I'll say that much. For the first half was a little bit of a sketchy day, but I think later on down in our episodes, obviously more in depth of what we do, Loper wise.
Yeah, we want to have lopers not only from the cutting world, but we want to interview lopers from
everywhere.
Reining cow horse. We want to talk to head trainers. You know, what do you expect out of a loper? What do you expect? You know, what are some things?
What do you expect them to bring to the table for you and for your business? So if you guys are ever interested in being on here, let us know.
And if you have any ideas about what to talk about, shoot us an email, shoot us a text,
message, Facebook, whatever. Let us know. We're more than happy to hear the input. I think this is going to wrap us up for today. Well, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.